irritating, right?
I love sending Kym pictures because she gets irritated. Whatever irritates Kym, I like to do.
Funny mamas.
When you're recording?
Two funny mamas. What's with the grin?
Oh my God, what's going on, y'all? Welcome to Two Funny Mamas. Obviously, the other funny mama is busy, I guess, getting ready for her Sherri show. Her own show. She's pretty busy. So it's just me today. It is just Kym Whitley and Chris. Chris, you there?
Hey, what's up, Kym? We've also got a special guest joining us.
I was going to say that.
Who do we have?
You don't even. Why can't we be professional?
I ask that many times a day. Kym Whitley, thanks for letting me be part of the fun. How are you?
This is probably how you ejaculate too.
Excuse me?
Sorry. Okay. Welcome to the show. Jeez, Louise. Who goes that fast? Hey, Alonzo Bodden, we have on the show. Very funny comedian, actor. Give all his credits, Chris. You got to look at him. Not ready. Chris, we can see you reading.
There's text messages coming in from another funny mama, so I thought it was a big deal. Alonzo Bodden, he's a comic. He's got a new special out through Helium Records. We're going to show you a clip in a bit, but Alonzo, we're lucky enough to work with him at Midcoast Media on some things too, so thanks for joining, and Alonzo's in a very special place, Kym, so he'll have to tell you about it. What's up, Alonzo? Probably need to unmute him.
That's real good.
Alonzo, you there?
I'm here.
Oh my goodness, he's there. What's happening, man?
Oh, Sherri is cussing us out.
Live from Martha's Vineyard. I have half of a hotel signal. I have 2 bars and half a Wi-Fi. I only have a Y because Kym, you've been to Martha's Vineyard. You know it is not designed to work. They don't want you working while you're here. They want you to sit on the porch, read a book, and wave at people going by. So I already see my signal froze for a moment. Tell the people that I'm healthy. It's not me freezing. It's the signal. I'm okay.
I love that you are in Martha's Vineyard. Absolutely. He is absolutely correct. When you're in Martha's Vineyard, you're not supposed to be working or on Wi-Fi. You're supposed to be on the porch. And this is Black Month. That's what makes it really special. I don't know why Alonzo's, because don't you do white clubs?
Kym, I'm doing the comedy week, and I was like, I don't know how this is going to go. And then they started playing Sweet Caroline at the front of the show, and I was like, oh, I'll be all right. You know,
You said I'll be all right. Did you say that?
They listen to NPR. They know who I am.
That's right. Wait, don't tell me.
You're there with Damon Williams?
Damon is out of his mind. Damon is having
Stephen Carr. Damon is
show here, and I'm here with Brandy. It's a good show. It's a great week. I had no idea what to expect. When they book you for a comedy show and they tell you it's Monday to Friday, you're like, wait a minute, that's not how we work, but that's how they do it here. So it's been a great week. I've been having a good time. Barack hasn't dropped in. I left his name at the door, but I guess he's busy.
Yeah, he didn't come last year either. So now, question: you're there. Who is on the show with you at Martha's Vineyard?
Damon Williams, and she's gonna kill me, but I can't remember Brandy's last name.
Okay, but a girl named Brandy. Okay, that's fair.
She sounds funny.
And Damon is hosting it.
Damon's hosting. Yeah, so it's the 3 of us.
Okay, that's nice. Sherri is gonna be there next week. I think the 13th. Is that the date?
Yeah.
Is that a date?
And she's doing a weekend show. Her poster is right where mine is supposed to be.
Oh, wait. Wait a minute. They got Sherri show.
3 Sherri Shepherd posters up there, and the rest of us, and some other comics.
That was part of her deal. Sorry.
Oh my God. I was going to fly in to see Sherri and hang out with her. I absolutely love, uh, I want to say Black Month, and on Martha's Vineyard. It is Black Paradise. It is everything you want Wakanda to be. With the whole,
This is
it's just,
what makes him.
wait, is
Did I
what?
freeze up again?
Say it again, say it again.
Uh-oh.
What did you
Did I
say?
freeze?
No, we
Okay.
just broke up. What did you say?
This is what makes me nervous. Martha's Vineyard, as you know, and anyone who's been here knows, everything's made of wood. These are old wooden houses, wooden buildings. And half of the black economy is, if there's a
Yes.
fire, done. If we're done, if there's a fire, half of the black money in the United States will burn up on Martha's Vineyard. We shouldn't all be here at the same time.
I never thought about that. Oh my God.
A lot.
Oh my God. I knew there was a reason why I
I
shouldn't.
don't have, because the Wi-Fi antenna is made of wood.
It's a high quality pine.
Kym, it's too quaint on the vineyard. You know that, Kym. Everything's quaint. You can't get anything done.
It is. It is I love it. I'm telling you, I wanted to come, but I wanted to bring my son because if you have kids, you cannot go to the vineyard without your kids. All my friends are going this year. Like everybody I know, like you said, half the black economy is there. Trust and believe. Everyone I know, but you got to pick a week. It's a whole month. So it depends on what week you pick, and there's no place to stay. I have a friend who has a house and she lives there, but her house is always full on this month. Um, are you going to be able to have any fun while you're there?
Well, you know what I've been doing? I've been walking around. I like walking when I'm on the road, what town I go to. I like to walk. That's like how I explore. I've been doing that. And the funny thing about walking on the vineyard is you always end up in the same place. You're like, wait a minute. I went around a different curve, and yet here I am back on Circuit Avenue. It doesn't matter where you go. You're going to end up on Circuit Avenue.
Oh, and I love that too because while I was doing the show, let me tell you, I was doing the show Martha's Vineyard on Circuit Avenue at the club. My son Joshua was 10 at the time. Just free. It's one of them places. It's one of those places that don't exist anywhere but on Martha's Vineyard. My son, in the middle of the night, is running up and down the street. He's going to the arcade. All the kids, no one is supervising them. It's a magical place. It's definitely a
Yeah,
magical
in
place.
that respect, it is true. It's remarkably safe, right? Like you
Yeah,
just see people walking around at night, free range kids. There's free range kids on this island, all over the place.
all over the
Um,
place.
Women feel safe walking, back and forth to their houses at night, and the streets aren't lit. There's no street lights or anything. I follow the skunks. I just follow the skunks to where I'm. Yeah, see you laughing. Are skunks everywhere.
That's good.
That's kind of wild.
Oh my God,
But
that is so funny.
they're not spraying you. I guess they're used to people. So they said as long as you leave them alone, they'll leave you alone, and they just kind of scurry past.
On your way on your trot to get another ice cream cone, they don't bother you.
See, this is the problem. Well, I'm sorry. Sherri Shepherd, as you know, has
We like to break the fourth wall every 10 minutes on this show, Alonzo. Go ahead, Kym.
Alonzo. Sherri is texting me all kind of threats. I just want you to know about the podcast. She thinks I have hijacked it and taken over. Sherri, we are luckily I got Alonzo on the podcast, or there wouldn't be a podcast today. I wouldn't have anybody to talk to. He is struggling. He's on an island with a cell phone. So, and he's in a log cabin. We're looking at the ceiling of the log cabin right
Like
now.
everything here is made of wood. Chris, I don't know if you've ever been here, but
No,
I'm not
not yet.
Everything here is made out of wood. It's how they do things. Sherri, we're good. I love you, Sherri. You know that. I love talking to Kym. Kym, I don't think we've seen each other since we did Mind of a Man.
I was trying to. What did we do together? What was Mind of the Man? Wait.
It was that game show that D-Ray hosted.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah,
that was fun too. I like
yeah,
that rap. Enjoyed that. And because I got to know you, that's what was interesting. And I had a little crush on you for a few minutes, but then I heard all female comics have little crushes on you. So that,
which I found out after they've gotten over it.
Yes.
Kym, Sherri is not going to remember this, but this had to be, I don't know, 20-something years ago when we were just doing stand-up. And we were doing a show together, and we're out at the, the merch table where you do, I don't know, pictures or I guess at that time it was CDs or whatever. Mm-hmm. And this woman's at the table, and she walks away, and Sherri's like, that woman was hitting on you. I was like, really? Sherri, you got to kick me and let me know. I'm totally. This is why I never got married, Kym, because I'm clueless. I have no idea. Beautiful women like you have crushes on me, and I'm trying to write this joke.
Did he say I'm trying to write this next joke?
Yeah.
Oh
no, I'm back. I said beautiful women like you have a crush on me, and I'm focusing on writing the next joke. I'm an idiot.
Just think about all the jazz cruise tale you could have had over the years, Alonzo. Come on, man.
First of all, did you call it tail? Did you call it tail?
Yeah, for effect. Thanks, Kym.
Kym, he's the white guy that lives in St. Louis. It is tail.
No. Of all the people, hang on, wait. There's a knife. Let me grab that for you, Alonzo. Oh my! So here's something that I was hoping Kym would inquire about a little bit. Now, Kym was excited to hear about the new special. I think we have a photo of that, and we actually have a clip too. I am trying my tail off to get Sherri and Kym, and Sherri's really motivated. They want to film a special. You've done some for Showtime. You recently put this one out on YouTube with Helium Records. You can check this out. Stupid Don't Get Tired. Available on YouTube now. Go check it out. Alonzo's very funny if you haven't seen him live, or if you don't hear him on NPR or any of the great things he's done. But let's watch this clip really quick, Kym. You got to see this, and let's learn a little bit about this process that Alonzo.
So now you can play stuff for Alonzo, but when I ask you to play a clip, or can we play a video, you say no. See, this
is controlled because whenever the copyright strike comes through, we work with Alonzo so we can easily get rid of it, and then you don't lose money off your YouTube channel that we manage.
Oh, that's all you had to say. Okay, go ahead.
Let's see the clip.
What's the matter? What does that mean? We picked the 3 simplest words we could find. Right? If I say save the whales, I ain't saying the dolphins. I'm just saying the cops killing a lot of whales. And we'd like you to look into this.
The Black Lives Matter clip, you can see it on YouTube. But yeah, Alonzo, I really am excited for you, and I thought Kym would think it was interesting as well. That process of putting a special together, it's not easy.
Right, but wait, where did we see his special again?
It's on YouTube. Just go to YouTube, Helium Comedy, or you can go to my channel and get a link to it, Alonzo Bodden.
Wait a minute, it doesn't cost any money?
No, this one we're dropping free on YouTube. Now, when you do one, you're going to get HBO money, so you can't look at what I'm doing. You're different category.
No, I'm not. Do you know the amount of comedy you gotta have? No, for real, Alonzo. Do you know the catalog of comedy jokes you gotta have to say, I'm just gonna drop a special for free? The years and the books of comedy that you have? Because that was a pretty funny joke. Let me tell you something. Those are pretty good, but I want to make sure everybody watches that. I'm going to watch that and try to steal everything I can off of it.
And here's, if you did it, they'd be like, man, Alonzo stole some jokes from Kym Whitley.
Yep.
I'd be like,
that's exactly how it would go.
Exactly what they would do. Oh my God, Alonzo. So why don't you tell us the process? So the process of getting ready for a comedy special, because I'm gonna have to do it. And so
Well,
we're sharing.
to me, it's almost like a continuous process because as soon as you do one, you're working on new material for the next one, you know? And so once I get the material, once I get my new hour or my new headline set, then you start shopping it around. And in this case, Helium came to me and they had this idea of, so the whole idea on this one was it's going to be a social media release. We're going to release clips on TikTok and YouTube, Instagram, and we released clips on this for 4 months and then dropped the entire special on YouTube. So it's a new way of doing it just to get it out to the people, you know. But once the buyer says, "Hey, we're going to shoot the special on this date," that's when I have to get disciplined and stop clowning around and just doing the set and trimming the fat on the set. You know what I mean? So that when I do it for the cameras, it's tight. And then once you have it that tight, then of course you know how it is in the moment. Anything might happen while you're recording, but yeah, it's just. I think it's just a matter of being more disciplined than the ordinary set where you come in and you clown around with the crowd a little bit and you might laugh about the traffic getting to the special or it rained that day. It's like you take out all of that and just stick to the discipline of the jokes. That's to me that's the big difference with the special. And then with the bigger specials, I mean, I did it at club. When you do theater specials, then they do get into the design of the special, the stage design, the clothes, the colors, so that you're not wearing the wrong color based on what's behind you and stuff like that. That
Right.
is I trust the crew with that. The camera people and the director. I'm like, okay, you guys, like, I'll be funny and you guys make it look good. So to me, that's the coordination of doing the show.
So on this one for YouTube, you picked out. You all picked the prison theme. That was the prison. This one
Well,
was
I mean, we did this one.
great.
I'm back. We did this one in the club, right? So this is kind of old school where you have just a 250 seat club and 3 cameras behind the people,
Oh,
So yeah, so it is that. It's like, oh, there's a banister in the way. Well, we're not gonna move that. We ain't gonna move the railing, and it's gonna look like you doing time when we go to camera 3. So
Crowd got in on good behavior.
oh my God! Right. Oh, that is so funny because you know what? But David Chappelle does a lot of these smaller shows in a club. I like that. I
yeah, well,
like.
the energy is so much better with 300 people up close.
Yes.
There's 2,000 people, and you're not connecting to them. Not as intimate. Unfortunately, Kym, a lot of my shows can be described as intimate.
Great for a date night.
Oh my God. No, I like that. I think maybe that's what I don't know. Is that what me and Sherri are doing? Are we doing clubs, Chris? Or are we gonna do it?
So we're gonna
Uh,
and tell me. By the way, we have thanks to Heil Sound for stopping by. They dropped off new headphones, new mic, and everything. To this. But so tell me in the comments if I'm still a little hot on the mic. By the way, if I'm a little loud. So the goal is to start at about 500 seats, and then since we're gonna have a daytime talk show fueling this once a month tour that we're putting together, I would hope by like the third show we're having to ask for second shows or bumping up to 1,000, and then maybe by the 6th show we're maybe pushing a 2,000 seater. So we'll see. But yeah, 400 person room to start with you two. I think that's probably where we'll start.
that's like a small club. I'm supposed to do Baltimore. If you haven't gotten your tickets, look, I should be there. Like I said, I should be there. Baltimore comedy. Is it Club Theater on the 18th? I think I have 2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday.
18th
And
of August.
yeah, is that coming up?
It's the first time hearing about it. So she's got a podcast a lot of people watch and listen to. First, the audience is hearing about it either. Baltimore,
Yeah,
stand up.
I'm an actress who acts like a comic, but I'm a comic who acts like an actress. So, they all go. I like doing stand up. It's fun once I get rolling, Alonzo. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I was talking to Lonnie Love today, and I was like, you know what? I don't think I'm ready. I'm not ready for Baltimore. She was like, Kym, go and have fun. And you know what it is? I'm tired of doing my same jokes, and I don't want the people to be like, oh, she's doing some of her old jokes. I got new stuff around it, but it's not even exciting for me anymore. But I haven't done a special. None of my jokes, I haven't been on YouTube with them. So, but I went on tour with them, and I think I got burnt out on Ladies' Night, even though it was 10 minutes. After a while, you get tired of your own jokes. You get tired of hearing yourself. What do you feel?
You're right. That does happen. I think that's the challenge, right? When you get tired of it, to make it new again, even if it's the same jokes, to change something. I remember when I was coming up, one guy, he said, change the order. He said, change the order. Do them in a different order, because if you do them in the same order all the time, you make the same jokes funnier. So he's like, so close with a different joke, so you're not doing your closer stronger and stuff like. And then he said, what happens, and this is true, you surprise yourself, right? Like if the shoe joke is normally the fourth joke, and now the shoe joke becomes the 10th joke, and the shirt joke is the fourth joke. Now you hit something else on the shirt joke that you didn't say before, and you're like, oh, okay. And so I think that's one way that it keeps it fresh, just mixing up the same joke. I always tell people, look, I got 6 good jokes. Everything else I built around them for the last 20-something years. I've been fooling. I'm riding the 6.
Bull. Anybody who's ever seen Alonzo knows that's not true at all. And Kym was giving him trouble about doing the white clubs. It's a mixed crowd, and anybody can get it, by the way. And it's very.
No, I do, but she's right. No, Chris, my career has been more in the mainstream comedy world than in the black comedy. That's absolutely true.
It was a good thing, because everybody's fighting to get to the mainstream comedy.
And that's what they told me when I started out, and I couldn't get any traction in the black clubs. I remember Cedric the Entertainer telling me, he said, man, you keep doing you, they'll catch up, and it was that kind of thing. And the comedy world has changed. And it's funny, because now I'm an OG, right? I'm an old head, and I get young mainstream black comics coming to me saying, man, I was watching you back in the day, just like I was watching guys like Franklin Ajay. That's one of my heroes. Franklin Ajay.
Oh my God.
Or anybody knew, and I've always admired guys who can kill on both sides. I mean, guys like Sinbad and Tommy Davidson, it was like, wow, you kill in an all white and all black or a mixed club, which is a talent unto itself. So yeah, I get what you're saying, Kym, and I'm all right. The only problem is I don't get white comedy club money. I never figured that out.
Oh God.
Working in the white club, getting paid like a black guy. Where did I go wrong? I got terribly.
Did you say I'm in a white club getting paid like a black guy? That's across the board.
Okay, cut me off the screen whenever he brings. That's incredible. Do you feel like Last Comic Standing probably opened up some of those doors too?
Oh, absolutely. Last Comic was my introduction to America. The only thing that would have made Last Comic better was if I had done it in this era of social media. Those of us who did it back then, like I left Last Comic with 50,000 MySpace friends. I haven't heard from them in a long time.
Oh God. Oh my God.
They abandoned you.
He said MySpace. Damn, was it that long ago?
It was that long ago. It was that long ago.
Time goes so fast. I feel like that was just yesterday.
Yeah. No, I was.
Well,
you remember? That was. Yeah.
I remember MySpace. It was the shit. It was like changed the whole game.
And they
Facebook,
clowned
Twitter,
Facebook.
man.
When Facebook came out, they clowned it on MySpace. Like, oh, I don't even, what was his name? The guy who was everybody's friend when you
Tom.
started? Tom.
Tom, that's
Where
a
the
good trick
Tom
question.
Zuckerberg's a billionaire. Where's Tom?
He's a million. Dude, hey, it's the best story. He just got out of the game, made his $1 million. I think he just like travels around and still stays everybody's friend.
Well, good for him then. He's going out meeting everybody live that he had on MySpace.
That's right. He'll be popping up in a town near you soon.
That is so great. So, okay, I got questions for you. Who writes your material?
I do.
All of it. Hate you.
Yeah, all of it. Sometimes, I'll get tags from people, but
Okay.
yeah, I just I'm continually writing. George Wallace taught me this. You know, George always had the pad, and that's what he told me. He said, "You're always writing," and it's always been like that.
So, as a comic, George Wallace says that you should always be writing, or was he saying that particularly to you?
Yeah, always writing, always writing. You know how it is. Oh, sorry, I froze again. Oh, I'm back. If you don't write it down, you'll forget it.
Yes, that's true.
You have that thought.
I said something earlier today, and I was like, write it down, and I didn't. Just when you said that, I had something earlier, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna remember.
You have hours and hours, and now a couple years worth of stories, and your entire episode of talking about your Europe trip. That's a comedy special, Kym, and a movie and everything. Bert Kreischer has one story that he's now made a movie off of, and is now selling out like damn near arenas off of one story. Your Europe trip, if you honed that, if you worked that out and turned that could be the best 20 minutes you've ever had. You go back and watch a couple of your old episodes. You've got material over the last few years. You do a couple specials off of.
Now that's a question right now, then, Alonzo. Why didn't you, since you do write your own material, now like some comics, why didn't you ever go into writing for television? Since you're so funny.
The discipline, that's what it is. I got a few friends. Well, we have mutual friends who are writers, right? Like Sully is a great writer. Yeah. And Chris Spencer said to me one time, he said, man, how come the best joke writer I know doesn't have a script? Because of the discipline it takes. I'll start with an idea, but you have to follow through and complete it. And I'll get it about halfway done. And, I'm still just in love with stand-up. Like you talked about acting. I still just love doing stand-up, so I keep going back to that as opposed to, as a writer told me, as opposed to doing my homework. My homework is sit in front of the computer and write something and or make it a story like Chris was talking about something that happened that I have bits about, make it into a story. And I'll be the first to admit that I can be lazy and undisciplined when it comes to that.
Me too, honey. Me too. Now, have you ever written for other people? Hint, hint.
Yeah. Yes, I've written. As a matter of fact,
you're about to pick up a gig here if you're not careful, Alonzo. Sorry to interrupt you. Yeah, this is the first question where Kym starts off asking you to write her a special. Sorry.
No,
go ahead.
I've had people this year have me write for them or punch up their act. And yeah, I can do that. That kind of writing is fun, working with somebody and taking their funny and trying to make it funnier. Yeah, I definitely can do that.
So when you're in the hotel room and during your gigs, can I come in there and maybe sit and write with you one late night? Huh?
Now, you see, Chris, where
right in front of me. She's doing this right in front of me. Yeah.
A couple of years ago, when she had that crush on me, she didn't say nothing about coming in my hotel room.
There was no hotel room discussion.
Now she jokes. See, Chris, I'm always a little behind. I'm always just a little late, Chris. Kym, I would anytime, anywhere. You do not have to worry about that. It would be a pleasure. You're hilarious.
You're never home. That was one thing I realized. You live on the road. Every time I would call you.
More. The pandemic brought me home, and I found out I liked it. So I'm not going out near as much. I got a dog now. Kym, me and my dog.
Beautiful dog.
In the back, And I'm like, I don't need to go anywhere. I'm good. So
Oh, look at that. I would love to. I mean, just a different perspective. I think you're very funny. What I really like, I like smart comics. I think you're very intelligent. I've always said that, that you can be witty and you can take, just like your little joke just about the whales and the dolphins, and you can change it around. And it's when you do your stand up, it's not like what everybody else is talking about. And that's what I really appreciated. And my dad's biggest note is always to me, you gotta have a surprise. You gotta tell them something, and then you surprise the audience, surprise them. So that's his thing, and I think that you do a good job with the surprise.
well, thank you. I will be happy to write you some surprises.
You know what,
Okay. Oh,
Kym? I
yeah.
was talking about this maybe before we get this Two Funny Mamas tour together. Putting together a little showcase. I'm saying little, like I'm Kym. Putting together a massive, amazing showcase at the Laugh Factory or something, maybe in October, just with some funny friends. And there you go. You and Alonzo can collaborate. We can put a little showcase together on a weeknight, and there you go. Get some stage time together and maybe swap some writing.
No, I would be absolutely honored to just the fact that, if you just thought of some things and you just tell me what it costs. I hope you ain't real expensive. Well, hey, Joshua.
Now, Alonzo, you understand I'm entitled to 20% of any
No,
thing that's come through this.
First of all, this how ghetto this. Joshua. See, this is so because nobody. I want to take my son. Excuse me, Alexa. Make an announcement. See, this is what we
What's
do.
the announcement?
Joshua, please call your father. See, this is what happens. I'm sorry, Alonzo.
Announcing.
I can't answer the phone on the podcast, Kym.
Okay, you're right. So Alonzo, so you never got married. Okay.
No, I am married to this. You are right. Oh, I froze on the road. I'm married to this. You're right. For the past 25 years, the road has dominated my life, my life and my lifestyle. And women will be like, "Oh, it's okay when you go to work," until I go to work.
And then, because you don't never come home, call your
Exactly.
daddy. Just go call him.
Everybody's excited about it, like you're saying, until it's the day 5 of them having to deal with stuff in an empty house. Oh.
What do you? Oh, yeah, you can
So,
have
Kym,
your.
I'm going to tell you the toughest thing about doing new material for you is you're trapped by your own fame, because the minute you drop your name, people come in with expectations. So I think the thing to do is not tell them it's a Kym Whitley showcase. You need to just drop in places and do 10 minutes. That way there's not a packed house expecting you to be, polished A material. You know what I mean? Like you got to work the kinks out without them knowing you're there. Just like Chappelle. Remember when Dave was just randomly popping up at clubs and doing 2 hours, and nobody knew he was going to be there? So that's how you get work, because people know your name instantly. If you're going to be at the Laugh Factory, they're going to be there, and they're going to be, the expectation and this and that, and it's like, no, when you're famous, they don't give you the freedom to try the new stuff. So
That's why
to
I would other comics like Eddie Murphy and other people who have not gone back to stand up, because the expectation is heavy.
right, and they don't understand the process. They think that you just gotta sit down and have it. They'll be like, Kevin Hart wasn't funny. Well, Kevin Hart's been funny a lot. He's working on new funny,
Yes.
which is why they don't want you to record their stuff, right? Because it's strange how people, I love you, but I'm anxious to see you fail.
Alonzo, do you think it's true? I think it's interesting too. We did a live podcast, and I just saw Kym just light up the room, And that's different than the stand-up stuff, obviously, but she's so good with improv. With famous people like Kym that come in and they're gonna just be excited no matter what. When does that run out? Is it 90 seconds, 2 minutes? When does the fame gas tank run out?
It depends on where you are and what crowd it is, right? Because in LA, they're more used to seeing famous people, so they appreciate you coming out, but they also know that, hey, you're here working on stuff. You're here, you know what I mean? Like when it's a Wednesday night, Tuesday night at the Laugh Factory, the Improv or something, they know that this isn't that show. So they're happy you're there and they're excited to see you. Whereas if you go to a smaller city, if you're in Phoenix or you're in, I don't know, San Francisco, St. Louis, then the fame carries you a lot farther because they're not used to seeing famous people drop in. So they're going to ride the whole set based on your fame.
Yeah, it is a tough. And a lot of my friends, comics, always say, "Oh, you're going to do fine because you're famous." They don't know your heart is beating. You're like, it puts extra pressure on you.
Well, the good side of that, Kym, it shows you care, because we know there are famous people that don't care, and they'll just get up there and say anything and walk away.
Wow.
They'll hit the road and sell out Funny Bones or Heliums or whatever for a whole weekend, and I'm telling you, it'll be packed and they will make money, and people do keep coming back. I'm thinking of some SNL people that are not stand-ups, and to be honest, like from a fan perspective and somebody who pays attention to a lot of comedy, it's embarrassing. It's really rough. It can be, like with a few that I'm thinking of, but they still make the money.
Let me tell you what my gig was, probably from about, let's say from years 6 to 10 or 6 to 12. Listen, we got so-and-so coming in, but we need you to make the show funny. So they're going to host, and you're going to do 20 minutes, and then they got another comic like me. You're each going to do 20 minutes, so we sure everybody has a good time.
Oh, wow. That's how I do my shows.
That's how she blew David Arnold up.
I tried to put funny comics with the show. I always wanted to have a good show. Even like when I go to Cleveland Improv, it's my home. We sell out, but I always make sure that people know when they come to a Kym Whitley show, I'm going to bring a good comic. We're going to have a good time. I like to bring new comics up and coming, but the funny. What does Sherri want? Excuse me. Sherri, I'm on our podcast.
Speakerphone, please.
You're outside?
Yeah.
Stay on, Alonzo. This should be good.
Oh my God.
You think I'll leave now?
No, don't get off. Stay.
Why don't you know the gate code?
I don't know the gate.
I've given it to you 100 times.
NAACP Image Award-winning podcast, Two Funny Mamas. That's Sherri Shepherd on the phone. Alonzo Bodden. You can check out his new special on Helium YouTube channel.
And tell Sherri to grab the package while she's out there.
Thank you, Alonzo.
Yeah, right. It's the package while you're out there. She's upset because
This is what happens when you have evil intentions in your heart. You don't tell nobody nothing. I didn't know nothing. I'm out here one daggone day.
she's in LA one day.
Aren't you throwing her a going away party tomorrow?
I can't even believe it.
Okay.
And then I got Erlene on the other eye going, thing going, who is this? Who is this? Who's trying to get in? Hello?
This is great. Can somebody Joshua? Can somebody let Sherri in?
This is Alonzo. This is
Open
what
the gate for
keeps the
Auntie
fans
Sherri.
coming back. To be honest,
This is how you win awards.
This is what you do.
Outside my gate. She doesn't make. Sherri comes up. Huh? Uh-oh. I know you're not coming over here with no makeup on. That's what the dog doesn't know who you are. The dog is barking. She brought the package in. Oh.
No,
You just came over?
in the kitchen.
You going in the kitchen?
I'm not doing it. I have no makeup on. I don't have no hair
You go and do your lives with no makeup and hair on, so now our podcast is not worthy of your regular self?
You didn't even tell me you was doing a podcast.
Oh, you got Tory Burch earrings on, so now you making money, you wearing all fancy earrings?
Sherri, please jump on. Please.
She ain't got no makeup on.
She looks beautiful. Everybody compliments the hell out of her when she jumps on with no makeup.
She always ain't got no makeup on.
And he got a lot of nerve because he didn't tell me nothing either. Chris.
You know what I do with receipts. Careful.
Freaking, I get a message. All I get from Edie was, do you want to do a live today? I said, we can do a live tonight because I thought it was just going to be us on the phone. I was like, we can do a live. I didn't know it was like full-fledged production. I'm sitting over in Starbucks.
But we have company on the podcast.
Who?
You acting a fool.
Who?
Alonzo Bodden is on here.
Alonzo ain't nobody. We don't.
Thank you, Sherri.
I tried to sleep with Alonzo 12 years ago.
I did too.
And he said no.
He said no.
Years ago, it was like 20. 20 years ago, Alonzo.
She said she
Sherri.
tried.
What do you got to say for yourself, sir?
Sherri, I didn't have a chance back then. I didn't have a chance. And you know it.
It was before you was big time and got on America's Greatest Comics. And won.
It wasn't.
Before you got your big time motorcycle and you was bringing in hoes in all comedy clubs. All them women that you was bringing
Put him
in.
on Front Street.
I tried to talk to you. I let it be known I like you.
I can't.
Kym,
What?
Kym, Kym will tell you. I told this story. I told this story
What story?
about me being clueless when I was getting hit on. You even told me one time when a woman was hitting on me. I told you I was clueless. I didn't know.
Yeah, but what I gotta say, I said, Alonzo, I like you.
Oh, damn.
How clueless you got to be?
That is pretty dumb. That's pretty dumb. That's English. That was English.
I didn't hear that part. Nah, I'd have remembered that.
Man,
you know why? Because you rode up in your new blue motorcycle.
I think the
same. Damn noise.
Right. And he had all these new women around
All
him.
the new
He
women.
didn't care about
You
us
remember
comics.
when Alonzo bought a house, all them hoes was over at his house. He bought a new house.
Yep, now he got the new house with the dog. Now he got a dog.
Hoes all over the place. Still ain't tried to talk to nobody.
Chris, this is coming from two women with houses bigger than mine. I ain't buzzing nobody in the gate. They ain't no gate. The UPS guy don't have to call me to drop something off, but I'm somehow no good.
Alonzo, you're grinding at the Red Roof Inn in Martha's Vineyard, and they're all over your ass.
Yeah.
God,
Hey, I promise you, if I told Sherri and Kym what hotel I'm in, they would both go, where? What? I ain't never heard of that. Where's that at? You ain't near the beach.
Don't the openers stay there?
Red roof what?
What? Red anything is bad. He's in Martha's Vineyard.
Oh, they're destroying me. Chris, don't let them lie to you.
I can't believe I feel responsible.
I didn't have a chance with either one of these women. Chris, I was a strong middle act headline in B rooms. You think at the time, Sherri was on her third sitcom. Now, how much chance I got?
Right.
How much chance I got? Sherri's on her third sitcom. You ain't never worked Redlands.
Redlands! He done yelled out Redlands, and that was funny.
Alonzo's proud walking into the comedy club trying to tell you all about the fourth time he was an extra playing security in a movie. Sherri's just brushing him off like no. I'm on network TV. Yeah. No,
wait. You don't understand. This is the funniest thing. Sherri, I forgot what I was gonna say. It was so funny.
It's the age.
No, he said he's in Martha's Vineyard and his picture and other comics up. But your poster for your show is all around blocking their picture. I said, oh my God. It was like the Sherri Shepherd show and them other comics.
That's why I love you, Alonzo. I got a story about Alonzo Bodden. Alonzo is so freaking funny. If you've never seen Alonzo,
incredible.
Run to see him.
Yes.
His mind is so brilliant. His wordplay is so brilliant. So we went and did a college 30 years ago, 20 years ago, and it was all affluent white kids. And I got up and bombed like you wouldn't believe. My self-esteem was so low. That'd have been the perfect time to get some, Alonzo.
Right.
But you even turned me down that night.
You could have done some weird stuff.
Wait a minute. Before all these perfect times to get some, Sherri, you were a good girl. and you were known as
I
a
was.
good girl. So,
I wasn't.
okay.
Now, hold up, before you continue that story. If she was known as a good girl, what was I known as?
Oh, you don't even
Don't,
want to know.
Alonzo, don't.
Kym, I didn't know you back then, Kym. I didn't know you. I knew of you. We
that was
had
my
never met.
reputation too, Alonzo.
You were
No,
sexy as hell. There was no question about that. But I didn't know you, and you had security.
Did you say I had security? Did he say I had security?
No, Alonzo,
had
you never saw
security.
Kym on stage. You never saw Kym on stage when she wore them tight, sexy dresses at the Ha Ha Cafe. Every man, every time would come to see Kym with those tight bandage dresses. She don't wear them no more. She don't wear those kind of dresses.
Because I got a stomach in now. Wait, Alonzo, what was you about to say, baby?
No, I didn't. We didn't know each other then. We knew of each other, right, Kym? We knew of each other. Chris, I've never been destroyed by two women who wanted to hook up with me back when I had no idea. And it was like, sitting up here, oh, look at what you could have had. Look at you could have got threesome famous women if you was awake. This is killing me.
Wait, I like Alonzo. Look how Sherri slid one titty into the
I know.
She's just
They just being mean now. They just being mean.
Right. This could have been yours.
Story about
she got to finish the story. Okay, go ahead.
So we're at this very affluent college, 90% white students, and I bomb. Alonzo got up and did an hour and killed. They were on the floor. He was using words I had no idea how to even spell to look. He was doing all of those things: enumeration, alliteration, numerology, analogies, predicate, participles. He literally had the student body and the staff on the floor. And as I sat there and cried, I was just like, this is the most brilliant, and brilliance turns me on. Like, this, you could be poor, but if you're brilliant, my God. So you was poor back then.
That's why I didn't talk to him. I like him dumb, but go ahead.
No,
I was going to say, if Alonzo starts...
No way, Chris. He was so good. I've never seen a response like that at a college. And then I see Alonzo now, even, Alonzo don't even know when you try to talk to him. But even when we're at comedy clubs, I sit in the back and I just watch Alonzo. And you are magic when you are on the stage, Alonzo. My respect. Forget the horniness. My respect for you.
I think that's why I have respect too, but I think that's why I didn't give him none too. Yeah. I think you look at him, you're like, oh, he's so smart, he's so nice. I don't want to ruin him. Yeah, I think that's why we probably did.
You could have ruined me. You could have ruined me. At least for a weekend. At least if you'd have ruined me for a weekend, I'd be on TMZ. I'd be like, remember that time, Kym? Remember that time? See, I can't even tell that story.
I'd be on TMZ behind the thing. Remember
what
that time?
What is happening? What's happening?
No,
what's happening. This girl's
I'll tell you what happened with Sherri.
Okay, that didn't sound right. But what I tell Sherri is funny. We need a TV show together. You know what? On your hiatus, we need to be doing a sitcom or a reality show. When I tell you the shenanigans with me and Sherri Shepherd, y'all have no idea how ignorant this girl is in real life. Like, she do her little sitcom, she all, but her true self, there's something wrong.
Shut your mouth.
There's something wrong right now.
I found it.
That I'm being mean to you.
That is true. You would. I used to have a little mirror here. Go on and see that big new mirror I got in the kitchen? That little round one. I bought a new one. See it?
People in the comments are begging to see more than just Sherri's right breast.
Is that what they're saying?
They're saying, why do we only get to see a titty?
That is hysterical.
Let me tell you something, Kym, and you can back me up on this.
Okay.
When brothers were looking at Sherri back in the day, what was the second thing? Yo, man, you go to church? Nah, then you ain't got no shot. You ain't got no shot. She was a good girl. You had to go to church.
Damn, they didn't
you ever
say
seen
that
me in
about
a church, Kym?
They didn't say that about Kym Whitley. They didn't.
That was backed up. that was backed up. Joe Rogan was talking about her with another comic, and I was like, oh, I hope they don't like say anything mean or anything. And Joe goes, she is hilarious, and said she was a very God-fearing lover of Christ at the time. That was the rep. That was the thing. So I believe it.
She's a good girl. She was a good girl, and you know,
that's
I
my
mean, the respect.
reputation too.
Kim.
No, that's
Kim.
my
Always
reputation
been there.
among
Kim.
rappers. The rappers say, now I don't know about
No,
the
no.
comments, but all the rappers say that Kym Whitley, she's good. She give you a hand job, but that's about it. Huh? Oh, I didn't say that. No,
Kym Whitley, everybody.
I had a good reputation. I think men just thought that I was crazy, and because I played that character on Next Friday, Sugar, the expectations that Sherri didn't play those kind of characters. I played a hoe, prostitute all the time. So men approached me differently, and I think I got irritated because they approached me differently. They thought I was her. I was like, that's a character. So that was always my journey, that to say I'm not Sugar, I'm not the girl off of Curb Your Enthusiasm. So I think a lot of them, got stiff-armed because they came the wrong way. Now, had they shown me money first, huh? Go ahead.
Let me ask you this then. The woman, and I can't remember the name, but she played Stifler's mom on the American Pie movies.
You acted with her on the show with Jonathan Kite, Two Broke Girls.
Two Broke Girls. Jennifer Coolidge.
Did you?
Right. We talking about?
Alonzo's up to date. Nice pull.
Did you read what she said? She said because of American Pie,
Kym.
she hooked up with 200 guys because of being on in that movie, because of that character. So what do you think of that? That she took the character and made it real. She was like, yeah, I am a MILF. I am Stifler's mom. Now let's go upstairs.
Said that yesterday. 200. She said 200 dudes after the American Pie stuff.
Because of American Pie, she hooked up with 200 men.
She had sex with
Not
them?
all at once.
That's not true.
She didn't specify, to be fair.
They said she just said it yesterday.
No, she said that.
Because I was saying my characters as a prostitute and everything, men approached me differently. They were saying Joe Rogan and said you were very religious. And, she's such a good
Joe Rogan calls me Christian girl.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Right. So you Christian girl, but I'm prostitute girl. I don't like none of that.
But you didn't have sex with no 200. She said her
that's my
is Jennifer Coolidge had sex with 200 men.
Jennifer Coolidge said
she said it.
After that role, meaning late 40s. Since
that role. She said after that role, over 200 encounters. That's how she put it.
But who counts?
Is she dying of cancer? Is that why she's saying all of this? What the heck?
No, people love it. People are loving it for her saying it. You know why? Because she's owning it, right? Because they always get on women. Like if James Bond said, if Daniel Craig said, I played James Bond and then I hooked up with 200 women, people would be like, oh, you the man. So she's owning it. She's like, yeah, I was.
Don't a woman look at, Alonzo, a woman don't look at a man, Daniel Craig saying, I hooked up with 200 men and go, you the man. We go, how much herpes does he have?
Yeah,
That's what we say. We don't look at you and go, ooh, we look at you and go, that's nasty.
Dirty,
nasty. He's a dirty, nasty.
Dirty
dingling. That's the way we don't look at no man and go, ooh, he's sexy.
I'm not saying you. I'm not saying
men do.
He said, dude.
I'm not saying you. I'm saying society. Society looks at a guy like that and says that's a stud, right? But if a woman does it, she's a hoe. So what Jennifer did is she has owned it. She's owned it, and people are loving it. People are like, good for you.
Okay, good, different day.
Kym.
I mean,
and just for the record, I am not one of the 200, but I wish I was.
Let me tell you something. I don't care what. I don't care. Let me tell you something. I'm a grown woman. I don't care what society is saying and those people who getting on the internet and making their little comments. Let Jennifer Coolidge be sitting across from somebody having dinner, a man that's interested in her, and she says, I slept with over 200 men. And let's see who makes that phone call the next day.
That is true.
Well, now he's going to know it.
People you don't know, folks you don't know can get on there. That's why I don't be reading stuff. Because people tell me I'm mean to her, which I am. But people you don't know can get on there and say a whole bunch of stuff and you get your little validation. But you're sitting across from somebody, Alonzo, literally, You take me to dinner and you tell me about yourself, Sherri. And I go, well, I did a movie. I slept with over 200 men. That's what your face gonna look like right now.
Your inside voice is gonna be going like, oh hell no, this is a hoe.
How fast can I get out of this dinner? And I'm gonna sit there and go, oh, so Alonzo, will you call me back? Or you'll be thinking, wow, you must be really good in bed. I wonder what I'm gonna get you to do. Society, whatever.
After 200, I would hope you are good. I would hope you picked up a few.
Yeah, great point.
Okay. Men are so different. Why don't you get a chair?
Yeah, I was going to say, Kym, can we get a chair for the 51% owner of Two Funny Mamas LLC, please?
Chris gonna get choked.
First of all, Alonzo, I didn't know
maybe I'm into that.
I didn't know about this. I was sitting at Starbucks having a jasmine mint tea, and I was like missing my friend, and I was like, I'm gonna call Kym and see if I could take her out to dinner. When all of a sudden, Chris, you did call me because I was on the phone.
Oh my
God! But then I'll get a message, a text that says we're going live. Hope you can join us.
But I sent it. I was like, oh yeah. Well, Chris was like, well, tell her. I said, Sherri ain't doing nothing. I said, I was just on the phone with her after I finished Daily Pop. I said, she ain't doing nothing.
Alonzo, I just came from the doctor. My blood pressure was so high.
Yes.
And I told Kym, I said, because she wants me to take an edible. And I said, I don't need an edible. Once I get around my friends, I'm going to be okay. So the next message, so I'm chilling, going, I'm going to be around my friends, so I'm going to be good. My blood pressure going to go down. When I get a message, we're going live. Hope you can join us.
Blood pressure shot back up.
We both have won the NAACP Image Award for this podcast. Chris and Kym are trying to undermine me, trying to sabotage
me.
Trying to steal my podcast under me. They think I don't know. I am kind of smart. I'm not as smart as you, Alonzo, but I'm kind of smart. And I know when it's the hospital, take the fuck over. Excuse me, take the heck over. I know when it is. And it's happening right underneath my feet. Right. But see, they didn't expect me to get an Uber from my hotel and come over. I brought my wagon. Yes, I Kym, I don't have a car. I don't live here no more. Oh, so I'm in for one day. I tell them in for one day.
You did text me and said I'm homeless. And I guess I was supposed to text back and say, oh, you can come over.
That's what I said. I don't have a place to go, so I had to go get a hotel. You know what she said when I said, Kym, I'm homeless. I don't have anywhere to stay. She said, I'm on E-Pop Daily with Lonnie. And then I come over here and she goes, Alonzo's on the phone. The man I tried to sleep with that I told I love. Okay, I'm just getting it from all ends, the back and the front.
Would you like to spend the night?
Sherri, you missed this part, and if you have the graphic, Sherri, you can watch Alonzo's new special on YouTube. You can check it out, and you can enjoy. It's like your own personal hour with him. Check it out on Helium Comedy Studios YouTube site. So check that out.
Just out the blue, and then throws up Alonzo's thing.
Where's all your cute outfits, Alonzo, that you always be wearing on stage?
Oh, see what I tell you, Alonzo.
Here comes the prison talk.
Put it back up. Put it back up. Told you. What women? See how women look? I said, look at Alonzo. He got on the. I said they was doing the prison thing.
Right. Is that what you said? You Alonzo, you don't want to listen to nobody. Alonzo gets on stage. Let me tell you something. Alonzo rocks the baddest outfits. Like Alonzo, Brad Pitt wore kilt. I seen Alonzo in kilts.
No, you didn't.
His legs not shown, but he'll be wearing like this skirt thing, or he'll wear like the big voluminous sleeve things. And
Alonzo, I've never seen Alonzo.
Oh my God, like Alonzo be.
Is this just in your dreams?
Okay.
Alonzo Bodden is a fashion icon.
He got a big motorcycle.
No, I'm not a fashion icon. It was a gray sweatshirt. That's what I was wearing. It was just a gray sweatshirt, but it wasn't. Actually, it was a Fear of God sweatshirt. It cost a fortune. I hate to find out now that sweatshirt looked awful as much as it cost.
What? It was expensive.
Why you don't come to your friends and ask us, should I wear this?
Yeah, talk to the women.
It's the women that's looking at you, Alonzo. And I'm sure the special is great.
The special's gonna be funny.
The special's gonna be
listen, people have changed, right? And Sherri, you're right. My other specials, I'm always wearing a jacket. But this one, it was like you're doing a club. People are doing them in club. Michael Che is doing them in hoodies. Che's doing them in hoodies. I told
Michael Che the same thing. We did a show at Caroline's in New York, And I said, when are you gonna stop wearing them damn hoodies?
Did you say you was like, are you 19?
No, I didn't say you're 19. We did a show with Marlon Wayans. Oh, let me tell you what Michael Che did. Marlon Wayans was hosting. It was a sponsored thing for P&G, which is Procter and Gamble. So you know those kind of things, Alonzo. You can't curse on stage. They're very, very strict. They pay you good money, and they tell you can't curse. So Marlon Wayans was very clean as he hosted. He introduced Michael Che. I went up, was very clean, talked about toilet paper and everything, and introduced Michael Che as one of the head senior writers of SNL. Do you know Michael Che got on this stage in a hoodie and said the N-word maybe 52 times. MF, that boy cursed so much, and Marlon looked at me and was like, ain't none of us N-words getting paid tonight.
That's
you know why?
That one.
You know why he did that?
Why?
Because he has 20 years of SNL money in his pocket. That's why.
Good point.
He got 20 years of SNL money. He didn't need that money. That's why these corporations. I'm sorry, I'm freezing. I'm on the vineyard.
You're good.
No, you're fine.
But
you're in the red.
That's why these corporations need to hire me, because I'm hungry. I'll be Disney clean.
He said Disney clean.
Do you think if I put Alonzo on my show, he would take me out? Is that Me Too? I don't want to Me Too myself.
No,
start.
that is.
That is Me
Sherri,
Too. Well,
Sherri,
you can't come
if I was ever in the same city with you, I would love to take you out. We will talk, and one of us is going somewhere, the other's going somewhere else. We've had this conversation. Okay.
Lonzo's gonna write something for me.
Kym's over here trying to hire him.
Alonzo's gonna write the material. Are you gonna understand what he writes?
See, this is the problem.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna write for her?
I was gonna.
Why am I now?
You can't write for Kym. You gotta understand the. Like, do you understand how Alonzo mind? Chris, you even know this about Alonzo.
Oh, of course.
His mind is like literally. Alonzo's mind is like, I literally could compare him to a Dave Chappelle in a different way. His mind, the way it works.
My mind. What about
you
my
can't
mind?
Kym, you think people are trying to be better than you if we use more than 3 syllables? I mean, it's.
And she get mad.
Lonzo, I'm watching your special. Wait, what? Let me write this down. I'm gonna watch it right now.
You be better off stealing this stuff.
Let me see how he talked first before I find it.
Here, let's show him some love. Let's watch this. Let's show Sherri the 30-second clip one more time. And if you missed it earlier, again, it's on you. Here, watch this. Watch.
Black Lives Matter. What does that mean? We picked the 3 simplest words we could find. Right? If I say save the whales, I ain't saying the dolphins. I'm just saying the cops killing a lot of whales. And we'd like you to look into this.
Just a little slice of what you'll get to enjoy.
So all I got to do is put your name in the YouTube, and this is gonna come up.
Kym, I will text you the link.
I'm stating publicly my goal is to take Sherri Shepherd out to dinner. That is my goal. In whatever city I have to be in, however many assistants I have to talk to, you know.
New York, you need to double up, go on her show, and then take her to dinner.
Just let him live his
I know. Yeah, because when I was a struggling comic, he didn't say none of this.
That's what I'm saying. So
now you like my ex-husband.
He does that.
Wait a minute. No, wait a minute. Did you say?
Alonzo said the same thing to me.
Let me stop right now.
Yeah, he was like, "We gonna hook up. We gonna talk." And you don't hear from Alonzo. He get on his motorcycle and he gone.
And he ride away. He does do that. He did make the promise. He ride away in a motorcycle.
No. Did you say when you were in regular comedy? Did you just say that?
I said when I was a struggling comic.
Sherri, you were a struggling comic for 18 minutes. You had a sitcom before we could afford to buy a TV to watch you on TV. We were doing open mics. It's like, where's Sherri? Oh, she's over at Universal on her second show. Really? That's nice.
Alonzo, you better stop putting it out there. You remember when we used to do that open mic show at the hotel with the lady, she rest her soul, and Alonzo had a different woman in with him every week. I remember.
Yeah, we all did. We had women who spoke German and had no idea what we were talking about. Remember that?
I wish I was hanging
It
with y'all then.
That's because you was doing the commercials, Kym. You were
Oh, I
always
was
on
in the
commercials. Like you was
yeah.
known as a commercial queen. You didn't hang with us.
I
You just
know,
walked.
I feel
You just
bad.
walked into a comedy club and was like, "I'm here."
I did.
I never did that.
I
Never did that.
I did.
You always did that.
I just, they
You
say
turn around,
I
you show them your
backdoor
booty
comedy.
and the tie. Yeah, you did do backdoor comedy. You turn around, they see your booty and them dimples, and you were gone. You teased.
But I got on stage and did my work.
I saw a documentary that said Kym was a big part of Fat Tuesdays. So I mean, I think she was out there crushing.
She was out there. Her name. Did you see Kym's name on the Comedy Store, Alonzo?
That's my name.
Alonzo's name is on there.
I know.
My name is on there.
I asked him to put my name between both of you.
Where's your name, Alonzo, on the Comedy Store wall?
Okay, you want a bit of trivia? You think I'm all that as a comic? I'm frozen again.
We see him.
Not on my end.
We see him.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Anyway, you think I'm all that? I have never been passed at the Comedy Store. To this day, I am not a Comedy Store regular. And the only reason my name is on the San Diego Comedy Store is the manager liked me. I've only worked there twice.
It's very strange.
Well, I mean, let's go ahead. Let's make you feel better, Alonzo. I've never been a regular at the Comedy Store. I've probably been there 5 times, just in the door. And they.
But your name's on the wall.
Because of Fat Tuesdays.
Okay, well, can I say,
Sherri has.
I've been a regular at the Comedy Store.
Her DNA is on the wall.
My name is up above John. Who's the one that was? They said it was harassing all. My name is up there.
Ant?
No, not Ant. On the main room, wall up at the top. Mm-hmm. And I've been a regular for over a decade at the Comedy Store. I auditioned for Mitzi over 12 times. So
go ahead.
I just had to put that out there.
Andre!
What's up?
Everybody's just showing up in my house.
You're getting the full experience, Alonzo.
Yeah, Alonzo.
Look, Alonzo, there go Andre.
You gotta come in.
There,
what up, man?
What's up, Andre?
Oh, what up, Andre? How you doing, man?
Oh, I'm good.
I give no one chairs, as you can see.
Andre, did you know the code? Did you know the code to get in?
Who, me?
Mm-hmm.
Did you know the code to get in?
Oh, of course.
I don't use the code. I just ring the doorbell.
It was ridiculous. I broke the call button out there because I kept the wires putting in the new floors. I cut all kind of stuff wrong.
You did.
So the button's wrong.
Okay, she has a gate and what is she doing?
I haven't seen it. I was giving you a kiss.
Oh, okay.
Down, bite your head off.
Look at
See,
this.
Alonzo, that could have been you.
And that same reaction.
Alonzo said that same reaction. What are you doing?
Oh yeah, you've been in New York. I forgot. You might have a monkeypox.
Oh,
I think.
No.
Excuse me. It's a state of emergency out here as well.
But wait, you have been in New York. Where is
it's a state of emergency in LA?
Did you wash your hands?
Alonzo, what time's your show?
Wait.
I got time. I ain't going anywhere.
Okay, just making sure.
Have you talked about that, Alonzo?
About what?
Get back in the camera.
Do you have any fur growing?
I think she meant monkeypox.
Yeah.
Have I talked about monkeypox?
Yes.
Just a little bit. I'm just starting on that. I'm still trying to get over the idiots who won't get their vaccines for COVID. You know, we're still fighting that. These anti-vax people. Vaccines don't work. I'm like, really? Has your polio flared up lately? No.
Somebody in New York got it. Did you see that?
Polio? Yeah, it came back a couple times. That's why I got Joshua. I was not getting him vaccinated as a kid, and the doctor looked at me and showed me some statistics. She said, polio is coming back.
Still got the bullet wound on my behind from the polio shot.
I got this. How old I am? I got the round circle on my arm.
I'm telling you. Remember when
at the school?
They did us like
when we were
kids.
When we were kids, they didn't ask anybody about vaccines. They just gave you your vaccine.
That's
they
true.
didn't ask anybody. You imagine saying, "Oh, I don't want to get that because I might be autistic." That's how far you get. You get the before they slapped you in the mouth and gave you a shot.
Yeah, you remember that? You remember that? Thank you, Andre. Thank you so much. You remember that? Rod Serling, what's that show Rod Serling used to have?
Night Gallery.
Oh,
Night
Night
Gallery.
Gallery. Trilogy of Terror.
Twilight
Twilight Zone.
You remember that one, The Recipe? It was called The Recipe, where they were going to Mars and they didn't realize that the Martians were going to eat them, and they was all lined up getting on the spaceship because the recipe book was in Martian. And once they translated it, they were getting on the thing, and the lady was like, "It's a cookbook." But when we did our polio vaccines, all I remember is the kids lined up like little robots.
Yes.
And then they would shoot us with the thing. We didn't get to say nothing, and they popped a sugar cube in our mouth like a horse.
Yeah.
Damn. And we didn't say nothing.
And our parents didn't
Like a horse.
Did our parents even know we were getting shots?
Probably not.
Damn.
I just, it's so funny. I just got a B12 shot today, and I said,
that's what I need, because it'll give you energy.
It give you energy and testosterone.
I need one in my.
In your. You need.
No, if I get a B shot, it might wake up.
Yeah, you need one.
Alonzo, some parts of me have died.
Kimberly.
Well, what I was going to say, Sherri, about us lining up and taking those polio shots, none of us got polio.
No.
Funny how that works.
But my thing is, I asked the lady, the nurse, I said, "You giving me the B12 shot?" She said, "Yeah." And I said, "What's in it?" And she was like, "I just mixed it." And I was like, "Okay." I never asked. I just assume it's a B12.
No, you're right. So what?
Are you going to get the monkeypox vaccine?
I don't want to.
But I got to damn near be talking to you, and every now and then you'll hear. So Alonzo,
that's about the level of jokes that you need to be writing at.
There you go. That's right. Right.
You just see the level. You don't need to go deep. When
cable,
you right
Sherri,
right there at the monkey level.
Cable TV in the 90s. Let's keep that.
Right. Not even the 90s. Go deep. Go back to the moms is Maybelline. Hey, I just met an old man. Old man sure is ugly. About right there. If you thinking like I'm gonna just write some deep stuff for Kym to just spout out and like drop some knowledge, don't do that. Don't do
you can't. I feel Alonzo. How do your hands feel right now? Are they cramping?
They probably feel huge.
He's been holding that phone for an hour.
No,
okay?
Sherri, I can't go anywhere. Sherri, I'm on Martha's Vineyard, and we found the one spot where I have a signal. So I sit here with my iPad.
That's it.
My Wi-Fi antenna is made of wood, just like everything else on this island. Got no signal.
I am in Martha's Vineyard. I keep asking Kym if she wants to come out. I was gonna pay, but now it's like too expensive for you to come out.
Why didn't you offer that beforehand?
Well, I needed to see if you was gonna do it. It's kind of like God. He don't just give you stuff. He want to see if you're gonna step out on faith and do some stuff.
I said I would come.
Hold on. Stop. Chris, you just heard that, right?
Yeah,
see,
I
how
should
you
have.
gonna hit on Sherri when she drops in? It's kind of like God.
Yeah.
That kind of really right there.
Yeah.
The minute it's kind of like God. Like, oh, never mind. Never forget what I was gonna ask.
I better not try that. Yeah.
Alonzo. That's
You just felt guilty.
Everybody love Alonzo.
Let me tell you something. All right, there was curves all over the place, and you look at Sherri and you just feel guilty. You're like, I can't do that. I can't even think that. Let me go somewhere.
I was known as a Christian girl. That was, but it was true though. It was true.
It was.
You were a good girl.
Was.
You were and was. Everybody, what happened?
I turned 50.
Oh, and lost your mind.
At this point, at 50, trying to be a good virgin. What are you doing? You looking at me like
scoot him in.
Why he's sitting there eating chicken wings?
He's eating.
Oh.
But at this age, when you get this age, it's like
the show's evolved beyond chicken now, so I can't come in.
You gotta lean in.
I didn't want to eat chicken.
He's not going anywhere. He's here, Andre. But the thing about it is,
come on.
Oh my gosh, please. There's a limit. We got an NAACP.
We do have an
elevate just a little bit. Kym just started this damn chicken eating on the screen. I just got a big talking
Alonzo
to. I just
Bodden.
want to say in your 50s, you really can't be a hoe. So I can kind of understand Jennifer Coolidge now saying, that, I may have slept with around 200 men.
I
At this
missed
age,
you.
I
Where
miss
you
you too.
been?
Why
My
did
little
you jump
friend.
out the way when she
I
went to
just-
hug you?
No, because I haven't seen her. I've talked to her, but I haven't seen her, so I had to hug her.
I
Okay.
do. So we're spending the night together because I have a surprise for you. Which I was really mad. I almost canceled it because I was so mad at you and Chris.
It was Chris's idea.
That's why I'm gonna call
It was my idea. It was my idea to knock out the episode of your weekly podcast. My
The
bad.
weekly podcast.
My mistake.
Go through every single week. You know the reason why we signed with Chris because he used your name. And I like Chris.
He did use his name.
He used Alonzo's name. Like you may not know this,
But
Sure.
Alonzo.
When I told Kym about Chris, I said,
Yeah.
you don't know him well. He was really nice when I did the show in St. Louis, and he took me to the sleep pod where I went to sleep for an hour in salt water, and he's really nice. And I said, but he handles Alonzo Bodden. And
Bodden.
That's what I said.
Bodden.
Bowden.
It doesn't matter. Alonzo know what's going on.
I'm listening.
Alonzo keeps the same face during the whole
Does.
I don't care what you say to you can say to Alonzo, I'm sitting here butt naked, and he'd be like this.
He got the same face.
I'm coming
And then
for you.
It gets into his processing. This is the same problem with Andre. I don't know what it is about y'all real good guys. You just
Wait, Alonzo, what sign are you?
Don't.
Gemini.
do this. My man. That's right. That's right.
All right.
Okay, I knew there was a reason.
all
that's
three
why
of
we
us.
talked.
See, that is the reaction.
Three Gemini dudes.
Every woman has had the Gemini experience that did not go well.
no sir, Alonzo.
Yeah.
You a Gemini too?
Yes.
Same here.
Chris too.
I knew
I don't
knew
mess
this
with-
one. Chris was
Yeah,
a
I don't
Gemini.
mess with no Geminis.
Ooh, I don't.
I got one of them
ooh.
choking. I don't know.
No, sir, I don't do
Oh,
Gemini.
the whole tune
I
has
don't-
changed now.
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing?
I don't do Geminis either. Who
We
is
on a
that?
podcast. That's Carl.
Oh,
You
damn.
don't know him either.
This-
Damn,
Let me tell you about Kim's dog. She got a yip yip dog that think he's a gangster.
he does.
Even his growl be making you like. "Rrrr, rrrr."
He only this big.
But I do have to say, wow, I did not know you were a Gemini, Alonzo, which means you got a whole completely different side that we're not aware of.
Right.
No, ain't no. It is
Right.
true. You have
Uncle
some bodies
Sister,
in your house.
Chris is
There's a dark side you are not aware
Chris
of.
is not. Chris got a little side that peek out every now.
No,
Yeah,
you're not
Andre,
consistent.
You got a strange
Chris
side.
is not consistent.
Yup.
And I'm going to say right now, Alonzo is not consistent because you're all Geminis.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
I'll
I've-
take that.
See, I
But
need to
it's
just
not-
let Alonzo go.
It's not a matter of not being consistent. It's a matter of being exciting, surprises, things you don't
Surprises.
expect.
We talked about that, things that you don't expect. That is true. It does keep the relationship exciting when somebody else shows up.
Oh, you mean like another person? Or
Yeah, like the other side shows up. You feel like you're dating two people.
I knew when Alonzo drove off on that motorcycle,
You
that
said, no,
brand
he
new
was a
motorcycle
Gemini
with his
then.
leather jacket. I was like, yeah, he freaky. I'm telling y'all,
Look
that
at him laughing.
motorcycle Alonzo had was brand new. We was outside of Baskin Robbins.
But he got to have a big motorcycle. He
It's
ain't no
huge.
little dude.
No, it's huge. Just one of those
Is it a
motorcycles.
Harley?
Yeah, no, it wasn't a Harley.
No, that one was a Honda, but now I'm riding a BMW. But yeah,
Okay,
I remember that bike. It was a great
That was
bike.
it. It was
Wait
blue.
a minute. You riding the car?
No, it's a BMW.
No,
Oh, no.
BMW makes motorcycles.
That's about the
Oh.
level of jokes that you need to write her. You understand? You got to get these little nuggets of when you think I'm writing for Kym. We are all talking motorcycles, and you said, "Now I got the BMW." You got a car now? That's the
Okay,
level.
see?
That's the level. don't go above the level. Just there you go.
Oh my gosh.
No, but yeah, no Gemini's. Y'all.
See, Chris, if you stick around, the truth comes out, right? Now, see,
Yes.
remember, 20 minutes ago in this podcast, I was all that. Now I'm a Gemini with a motorcycle.
Oh.
He ain't no good.
Yep.
Stay away from him. He got a dark side. See, Chris?
Right.
See, they all made it sound like it was me. Like, oh, he had a shot. And then now the truth comes out. You just have to talk long
They
enough.
did. They
Talk
downgraded
long
you.
enough and the truth comes out. and you see how my shot disappeared in 20 minutes.
They took you from, they were exclaiming you had a doctorate level, and now you're a JUCO dropout. Like that's what they did.
But don't get me wrong. Don't get us wrong. He's still that brilliance with the comedy. Everything else is downhill.
Oh, Kym's still.
On stage.
Yeah, Kym's still going to submit a proposal for him to write her a special. I mean, that's still going to happen. I get
write
it.
this girl a comedy special.
He didn't say a special. I just
First of all, I thought we were supposed to do a special together.
You are
all I did in private. This was in private
on the podcast.
I just said, could you, write me a couple jokes or something? He said he has written for people. So I'm just seeing where he might have been one of those comments like, I don't punch up. I don't do none of that. But in his spare time, I said I would pay him. But now you got more money than me. Don't you come over here and offer him a couple more zeros. Okay?
She knows me so well.
She got a talk show.
Alonzo, I ain't never known Alonzo to be like offered his writing skills.
No, he didn't offer. I asked. He did not offer. But a closed mouth does not get fed.
I want to know what's going on with this going away party tomorrow. Sherri's moving to New York. There's a big party at Kym's house tomorrow, I believe.
Yeah, we're having where you at, Alonzo? You at Martha's Vineyard. You can't
now
come.
This is what you're going to do. You're going to announce it, and now everybody's going to be like, why can't I come? Why can't I come? We're on live. You can't take it back. So thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks, Chris.
I didn't say it. The Gemini did. I said nothing about the party you were giving me tomorrow. The Gemini did. I just latched on to it and asked Alonzo if he wanted to come.
Alonzo
well, but I would have asked because Alonzo is actually like when Alonzo texts me, you still have my phone number, Alonzo. When Alonzo texts me, I go, oh my God, Alonzo. This one over here, I love. This one over here, Alonzo. It's like my
Martha's
heart.
Vineyard. Damn, they landed in Martha's Vineyard. All my friends are there. She landed. They in Martha's Vineyard kicking it.
Sherri, are you going bi-coastal or are you just going to New York and going to be a New Yorker?
I'm in New York. Is New York or bust? I'm only here for one day to hang out with her, and then I'm in New York. I have a place. I'm waiting for my Hertz truck to get there with the rest of my stuff, and I'm living there.
Okay.
When I step out on faith, I do it. So I'm having faith that this show is going to last at least long enough for this girl to come on.
Damn. She don't know. You ain't got to worry about that because the first week I'm going to be behind you.
They were telling me all of the guests that they had lined up for September. And I was like, make sure you leave Kym Whitley her spot open because if I got to hear this girl's mouth.
You get violent.
I don't even want to hear her mouth.
Because I got a show coming out on Audible, so I'm gonna go on.
Did you do her Audible show at all, Alonzo?
No, I haven't.
Not yet. He's going.
It's a scripted. Isn't it a scripted series?
My invitation got lost.
They called me a long time ago.
Wait, Alonzo, hold on, because I want
Here we go. Here we go.
Hold on, because Kym had a meeting with her agents. Hold on one second, Alonzo, because I have to hear what you have to say. Okay, have you used? I asked you if you did Kym's Audible.
Yeah, and I said that it seems her invitation got lost in her spam folder when she sent it to me. It is.
He's apologizing her agents right now because she had a big, huge meeting. Well, let me tell you about her Audible project. So your stand-up special is coming out when?
It's out now.
It just came out. Came out 2 weeks ago.
You can catch it when? Can you put it up again, Chris?
You can just go to Helium Studios on YouTube, or you can go through Alonzo Bodden. Stupid, don't get tired. It's very easy to find. There's clips all over the place. Shout out to Beth Hoops. And you can subscribe, you can check it out, and it's very funny. Also, Alonzo's Instagram @ZoFunny. There's some clips and different things like that. But you can go watch the entire special, Helium Comedy Studios, on their YouTube channel.
So if you guys go and follow Alonzo, we can't say enough good things about how funny, and his mind is weird. I think to be a very successful comic, and I don't say successful in terms of financial status, but the way we look at comics, your mind has to think really weird, don't you think? Alonzo, like your mind, when I look at you perform, it's like going to school. Your mind and the things that you come up with are this octagon shape that you cannot put into a circle. And it's really very cool to see. How do you form, like when you
Well,
come up with material?
I
What
want to say, thank you. And your compliment to me was amazing when you compare me to Chappelle, because I tell everyone that Dave's brain is working different than any of us, and that's why we all admire him. That's why, because so one of the things I do is I try to have a different take on something, because a lot of times the first thought you have is the same joke that 25 other comics have. So I may not do the first thought. I may be like, what comes after that? Or what subtlety do I notice? Something like that. I don't want to do the quickest and easiest joke. There's always something different. And then other things, and you know this because you're a comic and you do it as an actor. You do it as an actor when you get a script, you have to do a character, and you make that character do something that the 25 other people who auditioned didn't do. You saw some nuance in the character, or you brought your personality to it. Well, it's the same thing with comedy, right? When I see something, and I don't know what it is, honestly, Sherri. I've called it the gift for a long time. People are like, how do you do it? I don't know. It's the gift. But I look at something and then I see something about it that makes me laugh, and I talk about it. And then when you say it, people are like, oh yeah, that is, so that's I'm not totally conscious of it. It's just I see funny in things, and I've just learned to trust it.
Sherri, to add on to a compliment, so I have had the pleasure, I guess, over the last 6 years of just interviewing Alonzo whenever he comes in town, whatever else. Whenever we're all locked down, before we even started Two Funny Mamas, I think I texted Alonzo. I had this idea with Jack Daniels. I was like, Tiger King's big. I'll see if Alonzo will come on like 4 hours notice. Him, Mia Jackson, myself, and a comic from St. Louis. We all wrote like 5 jokes each roasting Tiger King. That's not easy. Like and he came on, blew us all out of the water, and then went and did a live stream set, probably at the Laugh Factory or something at the time. But just to compliment and add on to what you're talking about, the guy, he doesn't need to do my stupid podcast at the time, and he came on, wrote fresh material on something topical that's easy to make fun of, but not easy to make a good structured joke out of. Nailed it. So just more praise for Alonzo.
Well, thank you.
I mean, that's true, because I've been working with Alonzo for we've known each other for a long time. I don't even remember when that
could have known each other better.
Well, people are just clueless. We've already established that. And you are a Gemini. So we have established that. So that it was God protecting me. The Gemini back there. That's the thing. Here's the thing. I will never have a story like Jennifer Coolidge. How cool is that to be able to say, I did a movie about, where I had sex with men, and it just afforded me the opportunity to sleep with 200 men. What a story to tell.
I'm going to tell you, you know who's mad at that story?
Who?
Porn stars. Porn stars are like, what? What? I did 200 last year. Ain't nobody talking to me.
Right.
How come she famous?
That's 10 a year for 20 years. Like that's like probably.
And the fact, there's only one other person besides the porn stars that kept counting. That was that basketball player. Remember? Will Chamberlain.
That basketball player.
Who counts? How many people? Like when do you start counting? When do you go, wow, that's been 20. I need to keep count. Or like I don't know.
What was your number that you started keeping count, Sherri?
I've never kept count.
I know. I know you.
I'm going, when am I going to go to the other hand? That's what.
There she is. Godly Sherri. That's fair.
Let me tell you how godly I am. Let me tell you this. Somebody got on, it was on one of those serious XFM shows. And it was what show did Jamie Foxx have? It was
Foxhole.
And it was all the comics talking. And one of the comics said, I think they were talking about, what celebrity did you sleep with? And one of the comics said, I'll tell you who I slept with. You guys know her. And they were like, oh my God, who? He said, she's a talk show host. And they said, Star Jones? He goes, no. And they kept it. And then they finally were like, Sherri Shepherd. And he said, yeah, it was Sherri. When I tell you they blasted him, they was like, no way, you had no chance. It had a Bible with her. She would save you. She would take you to church. You in your wildest dreams slept with Sherri Shepherd. And I just happened to be listening to it. Somebody sent me the link, and I'm listening to it, and I went, woo. They didn't believe him.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Oh.
I want all your listeners to know it wasn't on the table. The option wasn't there. It was like, no, Jesus got that on lock. Jesus got that on lock. You ain't got no shot. You wasted your time. Where you gonna take her? Where you gonna take her? Nowhere. They running church after the late show at the Chuckle Hut? I don't think so.
Let me tell you, I used to come to the clubs from church.
Are you serious?
Yeah. After church service, and we had a watch night ceremony where you stayed there all night over New Year's Eve. I still got on the bus and went to do the Birdland West in Long Beach. Serious
question. What, if anything, was there a path that you just decided to go left instead of right down that Christian comedy lane? Because that's a lucrative.
I've never done Christian comedy. I don't do Christian comedy.
You just never. That was never a thought.
No, never. I did churches, but I didn't. But it was just I did my regular comedy. Sure. I couldn't talk about my boobs or anything like that. But I just was a big Christian, and
So you were rarity.
I always tell but I always tell the female comics when they ask me, they tell me I'm getting into the comedy world. What's your advice? The number one thing I say to them is do not sleep with the comics, because it will take you 10 years to get your reputation back. Because you are fresh meat, you come into the thing, you're young, you're cute, and you want to be respected for being on stage and being smart and funny. Do not sleep with them. Now, my friend, she didn't listen, but that joke works better when Kym is sitting here. It works so much better when she's. But I do say that. It's a distraction. And then I married a comic. You remember Jet? You remember my husband, Alonzo? Yeah. I married a comic. So brilliance in comedy. My husband was very funny. He just didn't stay in the game and see it through and push through. So I am attracted to a comic's mind. I love that. Look, you see that face Alonzo got? Same face.
Stoic.
Well, I will say this, that Sherri is more Christian than most Christian comics.
Great point.
Most Christian comics.
Church girl.
Right, Andre, am I lying? Most Christian comics, it's the same hustle as those mega preachers, like that guy in Brooklyn who, I'm a preacher, but I happen to need $1 million in jewelry. You know what I mean? That's the Christian comic. There's a few, but most of them is like, yeah, well, I'm a Christian comic when this gig pays this amount of money, And I know that, but I've been asked to do Christian comedy. And I'm like, what do I know about Christian comedy? That.
I got to tell you would be really funny doing, getting in a church and doing comedy. Because I think the one thing that works against comics who say they are Christian comics is that you are in a world, they do a lot of churches. And church folks, the one thing that they are when you come do comedy, they give you a lot of grace. They laugh at stuff that may not be as funny. You do a lot of stereotypical stuff about what happens in church. And I don't think your mind gets to grow and expand unless you get in a comedy club and work the same material. And so I think being a Christian comic, you get a little bit stunted in your stuff. We used to go to a spot. I don't know if you ever went, Alonzo. It was or you, Andre. It was in Inglewood. It was on Manchester and Florence and Manchester. And it was a restaurant. And who put it on? I don't remember the comic that put it on. D. Militan or somebody like that. And he wasn't a Christian comic. He just wanted them to have fun. So a lot of Christians would come. Cat Williams used to come up in there pretty much every other week. He never did no Christian comedy and destroyed. As a matter of fact, he talked about Christians, the hypocrisy, and it was so funny. So when you say you've never done it, you would actually be hysterical. Now, Andre, I don't know if they would like your sexual midget joke, but you might be able to try it.
Hey, now.
Don't know how it would do, but
But
You know what has been fun here on Martha's Vineyard is how many, and I do NPR stuff, and there's a remarkable number of NPR fans to where I'm going to tell NPR, like, there's a lot more black people listening than you think.
absolutely.
I listen to NPR.
Absolutely. I'll listen
Which
to
is
NPR.
great. Which is great. It's
Can
fun.
you write an NPR joke for Kym? Because I'd love to. I really just slip
Sherri.
Sherri, why
slip
you
in
wanna
an
get me in
NPR
trouble
joke.
with Kym? Why you want to get me in trouble with Kym?
You won't even get in trouble. She's gonna do it. She just won't know what it means. She's not gonna reject the joke. Kym's gonna be like, oh, because she's gonna think it's something with monkeypox,
Well,
and she's gonna do it.
And she'll call it the NPR too.
She will. Like, oh, I was gonna say something. No, but no. You asked, what's the difference between clean comedy and Christian comedy? Christian comedies, it's specifically they talk about God. Clean comedy is just clean comedy. But when you
can still do it in a Christian venue. If it's
you can,
clean.
yeah,
Oh, for sure.
a lot of Christians don't like regular secular comics coming into the churches doing stand-up because they feel you're taking funds away from them. Like, when TD Jakes will have a Christian, he will have a night of comedy, and TD Jakes will have Earthquake there and all of these big comics, and the Christian comics get really upset because they feel like I've made a stand. I've come out of that world into the world to talk about God, and I work hard, but yet you get these people who are out in the world doing comedy. And that's, sometimes where I feel like a Christian comic, you got to expand and hit the clubs, because in a club setting, you find out if that material works. So if you come out there wanting to do something about Ephesians 17, then you have to, like you said, Andre, excuse me, because Andre, you do it. And like you said, Alonzo, you got to think outside the box of what a regular person would say about a scripture in the Bible. You got to educate the audience on what that means in the Bible, what that scripture means. And you got to be really kind of clever the way you couch it. And when you just go into a church where they like, amen, hallelujah, bless your soul, you doing comedy. You don't get beyond that. So I know a lot of Christian comics, if they're listening, might be a little upset with me, but
I think that's extreme.
Well, you're right.
That's fair.
But that's true of any niche, right? Any niche you drop into, if you only do that, it's like doing colleges, right? If you only do colleges, when you have to talk to adults, you might be a little off, or people who get locked into a cruise set. People on cruises, they even talk about dry land comedy. That's when you've been doing cruises for a long time, when you start referring to it as dry land comedy. This is my dry land set. It's like, wow, you've been out there a long time.
That's very, very.
Come
the thing
home.
about cruise ships is I admire cruise ship comedy because you've got to be able to make the 80-year-old laugh, the 16-year-old laugh, the 40-year-old, and an 8-year-old. That's a hard thing to do. I saw one girl who was very, very funny. I saw her dirty set, and I saw her set where an 8-year-old was heckling her. And I told her, I said, you're funny, but you got to get off these cruise ships and get into the clubs so you can really see how your stuff works. Going into a comedy club, if anybody's out here listening and you think you want to try comedy, you got to get into the clubs. They will let you know if you're funny. Like with T.I., you can't just go to the Barclays Center and get up in front of an arena full of people,
If you really want to find out if you're funny, go to a black club.
Oh my God! What do you think about doing? What's your craziest experience at a black club, Lonzo?
Oh, okay. You're gonna make me tell my brother's. This is my brother's favorite story in my entire career. So, early on, and when I say early on, I think I might have been in my second year. I was opening for Tommy Davidson, and the people from the Apollo Comedy Hour saw me, and they said, we want you to do the Apollo Comedy Hour. Now, mind you, this is in 94, right? This is when Def Jam is the biggest thing on earth. So I'm going to do the Apollo Comedy Hour, which is a TV show. So I have to do a clean set, right? So I'm from New York, but my career I started in LA. So it's my first time working New York. I get there and I hook up with Keith Robinson and Talent and that whole crew, right?
Wow.
And they're going to take me around to work my set for the Apollo Comedy Hour. Clean set. So we go to a place called the Manhattan Proper. It was a club on Linden Boulevard. Sherri, 10 minutes from where I grew up. Literally, I used to walk to the McDonald's that's behind this club when I was a kid, right? This is my triumphant trip home. I went up there. They didn't just boo me off the stage. They booed me out of the club onto the sidewalk. They would not allow me. When they talk about Sherri Shepherd's in the building, Alonzo was out of the building. It was like, make sure he gets out of the building. We don't want him in the building. But I bounced back and the Apollo set went great. But that night was one night I'll never forget. And then another night in LA, I went to the Black Expo, right? And this is back in the days of pagers. And I went to some club. I don't remember but it was a black club. And I was making jokes about how the busiest aisle at the expo was the pager aisle. And we know there ain't that many black doctors around, although medicine is involved and all of that. Nothing. They had, as far as they were concerned, I had turned on the black race, and I was the worst. And then there was a casket maker, and he said, "Die with the black man." And I was like, "Do we really have to advertise that?" I was like, "Do we need ads for that? I think we're dying with the black man good enough without advertising." Nothing. I mean, Sherri, you know when you're up there bombing and you're looking for the light, you're like, "Where's the light? Where's the light?" That 5 minutes is still going on. That 5 minutes took 6 hours to get through.
That is the worst and I want to let Andre give his horror story because he came up in the Chicago clubs with Cheryl Underwood and a bunch of comics out there. But it's the worst when you bomb. Your tongue gets fat in your mouth, dry as all get up. Your tongue is white stuff just appears on your tongue. It is your breath immediately stinks.
Cold
you
sweat.
start musty under your arms. Every part of your body that has an orifice, sweat is pouring out. Don't use that word in Kym's set. She don't know what it means.
Thank you.
It is pouring out of every hole in your body. You start talking so fast and you try to slow down, but you talk faster. Your hand shakes. Please don't let the crowd see your hand shaking. It is the worst. You're dying. What's your worst horror story in the black? And we say black clubs because black people just they don't get woo. And we'll even dissect that. A black audience versus a white audience. What's your horror story? Okay. And then Chris, you can give your horror story at a black club.
Well, I was at the Laugh Factory in June, and I had to go up and open with this other dude for 10 minutes while the stars of the show just took their time hanging out backstage. Sorry, go, Andre.
You had those yellow pants on.
Yeah.
He's talking about our podcast, Alonzo, and we had him and Andre open up. And Chris, you was good. They loved you.
Yeah.
What was your horror story?
Okay. I first moved out here. We had missed the Def Jam auditions. Cheryl had to work.
Cheryl Underwood
from receptionist at
from CBS's The Talk.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just bought a new car, so we found out that the guy who books it had a spot, the Peppermint Lounge in New York. So I was like, well, I just bought this new car. It only take $100 let's drive, because I just drove from Chicago with $100. So I'm like, hey, another 100, we can drive on back to New York. So we drove to New York. I don't know. I always end up going first, so I didn't get a chance to fill the room. This is when Jabos and Tim's was the joint. I'm from Chicago. I'm slicked up in a suit. Everybody else, Jabos, Tim's, and hoodies.
And you look like a pimp. That's what you look like. All right.
Yeah, they booed me just for walking on stage in a suit. It was downhill from there.
You couldn't work this out of it.
I said, give it up for the ladies. They're like, F these hoes. I'm like, oh, okay. New York is different.
There are,
it was horrible. So I didn't get Def Jam. Needless to say.
And I didn't mind. I never did see you on Def. Did you? I did. There used to be a club called the Townhouse. Y'all remember the Townhouse?
I remember that.
The Townhouse. It was like near Inglewood, near the airport, the LAX airport. And this was blackity black night. And Joe Torre was the host at the shows at the Townhouse. And if you don't know Joe Torre, rent on Netflix Fat Tuesday, and you'll find out Guy Torre
it's on Amazon.
Is it on Amazon?
Yeah.
Guy Torre started it, but he talks a lot about his brother Joe. Joe was also in what's the movie with Janet Jackson and Tupac?
Yeah.
Poetry. What was the movie?
Yeah.
What was it called?
We know.
Okay. Well, anyway, just Joe Torre. Remember the Townhouse, Kym? The Townhouse? Oh, with U.S. Moore and Juan Dex.
Yes, honey.
So
we got lots of stories.
So we're talking about our bombing story. So you have to give your worst story with a black crowd. You never bombed with a black crowd because they liked you so much.
I've never bombed with a.
Kym always had her
Knock
dimples.
on wood.
I'm gonna talk about you.
I have bombed though.
Because
I don't know what bombing is.
And I'm
when
gonna
they're
tell you
silent.
Yeah. So when they want you to get off the stage and they won't laugh at anything that you do. But I'm gonna tell you why you've never bombed at a black club, Kym. I was at the Townhouse.
Poetic Justice was the movie, by the way. Sorry.
Poetic Justice. That's who Joe Torre was. He played the guy who liked Regina King. He used to always comb his hair, brush his hair. So anyway, Joe Torre was hosting it. It was a night, and I was used to doing white clubs. I was at the Comedy Store as a regular. I was doing a lot of clubs in West Hollywood with a lot of the boys, and I was doing that kind of material. They loved it. I didn't do a lot of black clubs, so I talk like this all the time. I was like, "Hey, everybody, how you doing? What's going on?" And I that's how I talked. And talked.
That's how you talk.
Talked. What is orifice? Okay, that's what I thought. All right. So, anyway, you see, you know the level you got to write at. Alonzo said he's gonna write you an NPR joke.
Okay.
It always works better when she's here. You see?
It does. It does. You have a live example.
And in the NPR joke that he does, you're doing characters. So this is great. It just works better when my other half is here. So we're at the Townhouse, and I'm sitting there, and I have been getting heckled at the Comedy Act Theater when Michael and Sharon would put me up last. And I was just so tired of getting heckled because I never had any comebacks. Cheryl Underwood, literally, y'all see Cheryl Underwood on the talk, but Alonzo, you know this. Cheryl Underwood wasn't nothing to mess with.
No. Cheryl would destroy you. Destroy you.
Y'all don't even, if you watch the talk and you see Cheryl, she be smiling and just dancing. Cheryl Underwood didn't play. Cheryl Underwood, if you said anything and tried to heckle Cheryl Underwood, Andre, you see, okay, thank you. All right, Cheryl Underwood, vicious. Cheryl Underwood from CBS's The Talk. Somebody tried to heckle her. I don't remember if it was a knife involved with Cheryl or she said she was gonna knife somebody. I don't know what Cheryl did, but she shut that crowd down and killed. I had to follow Cheryl Underwood where you can hear people stomping on the floor with their feet after following Cheryl Underwood. It's some comics you can't follow.
Stomping, I would not. I would have gotten sick. I would have gotten sick.
And it's okay to say, I can't follow that comic. I didn't think, I was like, I can follow Cheryl. It's going to make me better. Oh God, that is hilarious. And I have been working on my heckler jokes to handle hecklers because people would always, this is when my boobs, you remember that, Andre and Alonzo, stuck up under my chin. I had these really cute porno boobs. All real. They're really big. Right now, they're older. You can't even see them on frame. I'm older. But they were older. This is how long my boobs are. But they were big. You remember, Alonzo had big boobs. So I had been working on heckler lines because people's always like, show us your titties. Oh, look at them big old titties. And I never had anything to say. So I worked on this heckler line, and I was working on it in the mirror, and I said, you couldn't afford to put my titties on layaway. You'd have to pay every week if you wanted these titties. It don't even sound good now. But that was
Kym's face. Look at Kym's face.
That was my response when they were gonna say you couldn't even afford to put my titties on layaway because you'd have to pay every week. And I had it down. I said, I wish somebody would. Actually, I was thinking in my thoughts. I wish somebody would talk about my breasts. I'll get them.
My breasts.
My breasts. I didn't even say titties. You know, it's Christian. Yeah. So Cheryl Underwood got off that stage. They were stomping, and I was like, yeah, I'm ready for them. I am ready for them. And I get on that stage. And I was like, how's everybody doing? My boyfriend wanted to give me flowers for Valentine's Day. And then he came and I said, where's my flowers? And he said, before I could get them, the light turned green. That was like my biggest joke that worked over in West Hollywood because he was poor and the light turned green. And, you know, nobody laughed. And then all of a sudden they started going, boo, boo. And I was like, wait a minute, just give me a chance, God. And then somebody was like, well, you'll be funny if you show us them big ass titties. And I was like, oh,
Here you go.
You couldn't even, the layaway wouldn't even pay every week if you want to see these titties. When I tell you Joe Torre came and got me off the stage, she was like, it's time to go. What? It's time to go.
Sandman.
When I tell you, the walk, because you know Joe, if you would walk past Joe didn't care if you was the woman he was sleeping with. He gonna talk about you. And not only talk about you, disseminate you. Disseminate you. It works so much better when she's here. That's why I love it. Decimate. Oh, it's not disseminate?
Alexa.
Leave Alexa out of this.
No. Alexa, what is disseminate?
That's not a word.
The verb disseminate is usually defined as to scatter or spread widely, as though sowing seed, promulgate extensively, broadcast.
So he was broadcasting and spreading seed.
Alexa, what is decimate?
Alexa, what is decimate?
The word you meant to use.
So much better than Alexa, Alonzo. Yeah, Alexa's just does.
Never been on a podcast this long.
I know, and he's holding the phone. He's gonna be.
He is being a hostage.
Alonzo actually had a show that he's supposed to be at 45 minutes.
He missed his ice cream date an hour ago.
Are we keeping you, Alonzo?
No.
Okay,
no,
so
I'm gonna go to the theater and I'm gonna tell them that Sherri Shepherd is ready to disseminate them.
Here she comes.
Don't put me in the same category.
Wait, Alonzo, she said it all hard. Disseminate.
I make one mistake and you have a little grace and mercy is what I say, you know. So anyway, Joe is the type that he would talk about his mother and destroy her. So when he got me off the stage, he said it's time to go. He didn't even say it like that. I kind of remember, bitch, get off the stage, that kind of talking from Joe Torre. So I get off the stage and I'm walking. They all booing me. Joe talked about me so bad. And then I think I started running. to the back. And not running because I was scared. Just like I was trying to get away from Joe. Yeah. And he said, put the light on her. Put the light on her. If you'd have run 6 years ago, maybe you'd have been funnier. It was, and I went in the bathroom. And the thing about when you bomb on stage, the other comics don't want to be around you. It's almost like the bomb is contagious. So nobody, and literally Jamie Foxx was there, D.L. Hughley was there, Joe Torre was there, Yvette Wilson, who used to play Indell on Brandy, on Moesha. I can't think, Chris Tucker was there. These are all, we all used to hang at the comedy clubs. They were all there. Cheryl Underwood was there. Nobody talked to me. Because other comics don't want to get that stench.
They don't want to talk to the person
that bombed. So I went in the bathroom and I cried. I cried so hard. And so as I was leaving, DL said to me, where you going, girl? And I said, they don't like me and I'm not coming back. And he said, if you don't come back, you're never going to get on the stage again. You got to come back. And it was because of D.L. Hughley that I came back the next week. And I stood in the mirror, and this is what I practiced. I'm going to the store. 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 I did. And I practiced lowering my voice because I read people consider you more powerful or more confident when your voice is lower. And I relaxed
so why are you screaming on here all the time?
I scream on here because Kym don't listen to me, and Andre and
My voice is
and I get brought into it.
Yeah, because you don't listen either. And then Kym's voice is low. We just need low voices. You really be thinking it's two funny men.
It's true. If you bomb and don't get back on the stage,
you'll never get on. And because D.L.
But
Hughley
here's
said
the
that,
thing.
I'm on the building next week.
Okay, Alonzo.
Here's the thing about that, Sherri. Now you have your own show with your name on it. Everybody who was at the townhouse was like, I saw her in 1991 at the time. They are all bragging about that night. They were your best friend. They knew you were going to be a star, right? I mean, that's how people go. It flipped. Anyone who was there that night is going to talk about how great you were and how they knew it and they saw you before this, before that. I had a similar experience in bombing in a black club. And Cedric said, man, don't even worry about that.
Cedric the entertainer.
He said, you already working on Sunset. He said, they would kill to work on Sunset. You're already there. So that helped me a lot because it was what I got from black comics in that day, from the pros, was to keep doing what I did. Don't try to do something that's not me. Like, don't try to be Def Jam when you're not. Just do you. And I stuck with it. And when I won Last Comic, then a lot of the black audiences that didn't like me suddenly supported me because one of us won the show, right? One of us beat them at their own show.
You won Last Comic Standing, and you were amazing in the competition. And it is true, and that's anything in life. Push through and don't try to be anything else. Because my problem was I was trying to be Cheryl Underwood, and I almost got my ass kicked trying to get on stage and being Cheryl Underwood. Because I told somebody, bitch, shut up and do it. And she was like, bitch, what? And I was like, I was trying to be like Cheryl Underwood. I'm sorry. I nipped that in the bud so quick. Because she left the club and was going to get her gun. And they told me this again. I was at the townhouse.
What's wrong with you?
And Joe was like, you need to leave because she coming back. And I was like, I just was trying to be like Cheryl. And I learned that night, like you say, Alonzo, you can't be what you think they want. You have to be authentically yourself.
Yes.
Which is, and that's just in life. And what I want to say about Whitley is, Kym, you never bomb where people, because Kym would come this is the thing that I love about Kym Whitley. She always, and this was back in the 90s, because Kym was doing commercials all the time. That's where you saw her at. She was like, why you stop booking commercials? Did you just stop going up for commercials?
As she got out of her teens in the 90s, she moved on to TV and movies.
No, but literally, Chris, you would see Kym in every daggone commercial. All the comics were like, man, how do you do that? But Kym would walk into the comedy act and she would light up the room. She had those dimples, which just worked for her. She was so pretty, but I don't want to say everything was because she was pretty. But she would walk in the room. She was this attractive woman, but it was the joy of her spirit that would shine through. And so when Kym would get on stage, she didn't know she wasn't funny. She just had a fearlessness. Well, we all go through that, Kym. Kym got on stage and had a fearlessness about her that was part naivete, part just, I'm excited to be here, part I just want to have fun. And it just was infectious. And I think that even people who said, this girl ain't funny, she was so joyful. Because I was sitting back there and watching, she don't never be bombing. Ain't nobody ever wanted to stab her. Nobody ever come back with a gun. No woman confronting her. Why I got to go through all this bullshit?
Because I'm bigger than you.
Well, that's also true. That's also true.
Lovable.
Biggest comics out there.
You and Leslie were physically, Leslie Jones from Saturday Night Live. You two are physically the biggest comics.
But here's the thing, and Kym has this, and like you said, you can't not get it because Kym radiates it. Lovable will beat funny. If
Yes.
you walk
Yes.
on that stage and they just love you, it's like if you look at a young Dave Chappelle, he looked funny just walking. Before he said a word, he
That's
looked funny. You were just like, yeah, this guy's going to be funny. He had that loping gait and the
Yes.
kind of head bob, and he didn't say a word. You just looked at him and you were like, this guy's going to be funny.
Alonzo,
You just blew
before you
Kym's mind.
Could you explain what loping?
Please.
And
I know what he's talking about.
Kym's trying to figure out how he brought a gate on stage. Like, what is that?
No. Kym said he eloped.
Alonzo, don't you listen to them. I am a graduate of Fisk University.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
here we go.
Graduated.
I graduated.
Boom. Thank you, Lord.
If you graduated from Fisk, how are you not on Martha's Vineyard this month?
You know, no, you're absolutely right. And the only reason I'm telling you I'm still fighting with it because all my friends are there. I went last year and I said I want to take my son every year to this experience. And I'll be honest with you, if it for some reason his school starts right on the 15th, if it's not a school, I'm trying to get him another school. I got that Baltimore gig, which so I did not plan properly because you got to get the houses ahead of time. And I said every year, and then all my friends are like, I'm going. I
tell you, my sister said she will watch Joshua.
But this is the problem. I did not plan. That means I would have to take him when you're there. I got to take him out of school.
All right.
And this is
Alonzo, this is when you were a single mom. This is why we ain't on the road.
Because I would take him and I didn't put him in summer school this year because I said I wanted to start traveling internationally with my son at 8-9 years old. Then the pandemic hit. So this summer I took him out of summer school, he didn't go to school, and I took him on a European adventure. So I was like, do I also, Mother July gone. Do I also do August and take him out of school? And so I was like, you know what? I love Martha's Vineyard. It was good for mama and the baby.
Yeah, she had Joshua jumping off the bridge.
Yep, and he had black friends, white friends. He was safe. It was, you know what?
When she says he was safe,
I'm taking him.
She never saw Joshua.
Right.
She left Joshua and he roamed the island.
I never saw him because even I told you I met the family.
Yes.
This friend of mine who's a director.
And you met Thelonious Monk. You met Thelonious. She met Thelonious Monk.
First of all, Thelonious Monk.
His son.
I met his
son.
I know. I didn't know he was dead.
She thought she met Thelonious.
This is a whole thing.
The whole podcast, Alonzo. She's saying I met Thelonious Monk, and Chris and I were like, "Is he? We thought he was dead." She's like, "No, he ain't dead because I met him. I talked to him."
I did.
She met Theo. She met Theo Jr.
I did. I messed up.
Well,
I did.
Listen, I got respect for single moms, and I was just in Montreal. I was at the festival, and one night we had a 9-year-old kid in the front row, and of course we all cracked on it and made fun of terrible parenting, right? But after the show, we met the mom, and she said same thing Kym was saying. She wanted her son to have all these experiences, so whenever she did something, she would take him.
Wow, see?
Well, I tell you, that's a really great thing because you didn't know a comic, Alonzo. Her name was Lynn Henderson. She played, whenever you would see a black paramedic with braids on ER, it was Lynn Henderson. And Lynn Henderson had her son Tanner always at every open mic she could. He was strapped on her back as a baby. And I kept saying, Lynn, you got him and this waitresses at the comedy store would watch Tanner as a toddler. And she always had him. And she said, her thing was, I didn't have a babysitter. But because she exposed Tanner to so much artistic creativity, he was around so many comics. Tanner is now a director. He is EP in something that's on Hulu now. And he's a really great director. He's won awards because his mind, and I go, damn it, I should have had Jeffrey, had them waitresses watching Jeffrey. This boy don't want to come out his room playing video games. Experiences. So, but I want Alonzo to go back to being lovable. Why that's funnier. You were talking about Dave Chappelle because you have that, Kym. So keep going.
Yeah, when people love you on stage, then they just go with you. I remember
Andy.
my first deal with NBC, way back, I don't know. I say my first deal like I had more than one. Anyway, but the casting guy from NBC, he said, I cast likable over funny because I'm asking the audience to invite you into their living room every week.
Wow. Wow, that's pretty cool. That's why, and so that I think you
and
have,
then Sherri Shepherd proceeded to become the first Black woman on Friends, and I said, I know her. I'm
Rhonda, and these aren't real. But that is what Kym has always had, is the lovable factor. Don't you agree, Andre? Kym gets up on stage, and that is what Kym has, because I get more comments from our viewers of why are you so mean to Kym? And if you watch Kym is mean to me, but because she's so lovable, every time she mean, people don't see it. All they see is dimples. Kym will get on me. This is all they see. They will go. Let me tell you something about this podcast, Alonzo. I begged Kym to do it. Literally begged her for 3 years to do this podcast. She was mean to me then. She only did it because we was in a pandemic. We've been doing the podcast. I researched it, did the work.
She took 51%.
I took 51% because Kym didn't even want to be involved. She was like, just tell me when to show up. So somebody had to play the straight part, the straight character, because we can't have two crazy women on the podcast. So I played the straight person. Kym's all over the place. Let me tell you, Alonzo, Kym puts her feet in the camera when she gets her ADD. Did you see what she's doing right now? She's sucking on a water bottle. She done been asleep. She done sucked on a water bottle. She gets up and leaves. She eats chicken on the podcast. And I'll say to Kym, why are you sucking on that water bottle? Put the water bottle down. We're trying to be professional. And everybody goes, why are you so mean to Kym?
That's the best part.
Put your foot in. Does she not put her foot in the camera, Chris?
Oh, I've seen a heel. I've seen the side of the foot, each toe.
We've seen each toe. I'm not even going to comment. I'm not going to answer what you just said. If y'all caught it, listeners, then that was a gem that you got. I want to keep my talk show, so I'm not going to make a comment on what she just said. So,
what did she say?
I'm not going to we have to tell you off camera.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, once you get into the corporate game, Chris,
don't you say a word.
No mouth, like, so
I cannot imagine.
There'll be none of that Michael Che behavior going on here.
And Michael Che got away with it because he was on SNL. When you do a talk show, no, sir. All politics. I can only do politics with my friends. But
so
Kym,
listen. I hate to do this.
There it is.
I have to leave. My iPad is down to 5%.
Sherri done talked the power out of somebody's phone.
I don't want to just disappear. You guys think something happened to me?
Incredible.
Thank you, Alonzo.
We love you. Can you put up Alonzo's flyer?
We sure can. Absolutely.
So people will know. You've got to see.
He is brilliant.
Alonzo Bodden.
Bolden.
What'd I say? I've been calling Alonzo Bodden for the last 30 years.
I know.
Alonzo Bodden.
She calls me Chris Denham still.
He ain't never corrected me. Alonzo Bodden.
I was hypnotized. I didn't know what to say. I was hypnotized by her beauty.
Oh, look at you. I love
there
you
he
so
is.
much.
There's that Gemini.
It's on YouTube. It's called Stupid Don't Get Tired. And Alonzo Bodden it don't even sound right.
He's in a great sweatshirt.
It don't even sound right, Alonzo Bodden. That was an
Thanks, Kym.
But you gotta, when we're telling our fans, you gotta watch Alonzo Bodden. He is absolutely amazing. He's brilliant.
Give him those hits on YouTube.
Give him the hits on YouTube. Leave him the comments. Tell him you saw him on Two Funny Mamas, so maybe he will come back and write for Kym.
No, now he got to come back with
okay.
I
absolutely love both of you. I have forever. And if by some chance late one night you're just slipping and say, I want to try that Gemini that I was going to try 10, 15 years ago, my number is still the same. My number's still the same. That's right.
Okay, well,
Listen,
Alonzo, I'm gonna hit you up and follow him at ZO Funny. That's where you can follow
Instagram
him.
at Zo Funny, everything else at Alonzo Bodden. Really, I love you guys, Sherri. We've talked about doing this, so I'm so glad we actually got to do it. I will find you in New York. I still go back east now and then. And Kym, I'm going to follow the UPS guy, and when he slips in, I'm going to follow him in the gate. That's how I'm going to get in. I'm going to follow the guy in the brown shorts. I know how to get in that gate. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. I love this. Is phenomenal. You made my day. It's not even close. You made my day.
Thank you. Have a good show tonight.
Have a great show, Alonzo. We love you.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna let them know tonight that Sherri Shepherd said she canceled. She ain't coming. And
Kym Whitley's taking her place.
Kym Whitley taking her place. Oh my, it's gonna sell out.
That's funny. I love you guys. Thank you so much, Chris. Take care. And Chris, I don't have to tell you to tell Bethany to post this. There's one thing I don't have to worry about is asking Beth to post this. I'm pretty sure she's going to handle it.
We got it covered. And follow. Hey, and Alonzo's coming to your town. He's on the jazz. It's the jazz cruise on land. I know he's coming to St. Louis soon. He's always doing stuff with Wait, Don't Tell Me, the NPR tour. Do yourself a favor. If you see him coming to your town, go spend the evening with him and watch some comedy.
And say bye to Andre, Alonzo. You got to poke your head tonight.
Andre, take care, brother. Keep your head down and keep your hands away from Sherri Shepherd. You know better than that. Doing back there, trying to kiss on Sherri Shepherd.
Shout out to everybody watching at home. This was a surprise live show on a Friday. Kym and Sherri, great show. We'll be back next week, huh?
We'll be back next week. Bye, everybody. Love you, Lonzo. Love you, Andre.
Love you guys.
See ya, Andre.
Take care.
I'll follow you back in 5 minutes.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Two funny mamas.
Was that 2 hours? Oh my God. What's wrong with your nuts? What's wrong with your nuts?
Two funny mamas.
We all.
Sitting on that hard thing.
Oh, you're not.